Well, I guess you weren't expecting this review, yet here we are. My Little Pony the movie is obviously based on the television show My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and basically it's about Twilight Sparkle and her friends who are getting ready to launch this one festival or whatever it is. I kind of forgot what it was really about, but basically this villain named Tempest comes in to basically wreak havoc and enslave all the ponies and whatnot. And so Twilight and her friends need to find these creatures called the Hippogriffs to see if they will help them save Equestria. Now, in case you don't know this, I am actually a pretty big advocate of the television show My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. No, I'm not a brony. Yeah, I mean, I know there are different types of bronies out there, but I just don't consider myself a brony. I just like good entertainment. And despite what the marketing for this show is, I mean, I'm not going to pretend that it's not a really good show for kids to watch. It has very good morals about friendship and kindness and what kind of different levels there are, and it shows a lot of gray areas in there. I mean, yeah, I know it's about ponies, but really I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It's a very imaginative show, very good morals, very, very weird, trippy humor. I mean, just look at this joke from an episode right here.
Look what I can do with my hooves. Bet you can't make your face crazier than
But like I said, this is a very good show, and I would recommend kids watching it. It's very nice, it's very likable, and like I said, it does teach them really good lessons. So, I can't really, lie to you and say that it's bad just because it has ponies. Like I said, not a brony, I just like good entertainment. And as I expected, the marketing campaign for My Little Pony the movie wasn't really that great. All these trailers are just so cutesy and just showing all the cute stuff like, ooh, look at these ponies! Aren't they adorable? Whee! And yeah, this movie is very likable and very cute, but however, it delves into territories that I didn't really know it was going to go into. The best way I can describe My Little Pony the movie is, it's like Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda was marketed as this really silly, goofy comedy, but however, when you see scenes like this, you start questioning as to why they marketed the movie that way in the first place, because beautiful imagery and lessons like that are very much prevalent in Kung Fu Panda, and very much prevalent in My Little Pony the movie. I know, shocking. Before I get onto the morals, I'm going to start off with some of the stuff that I do think was also really good. For the most part, the voice acting is very on point, especially with the main actresses who play the main characters from the show and thusly the movie. Tara Strong, Tabitha S. Germain, Andrea Libman, and Ashley Bell all do really great in this movie, just as they did in the original show. And especially Tara Strong, because she has like a moment in this movie where she really has to use her vocals to sell a performance. And some people will just say that when it comes to voice acting, I mean, you're just sitting in a booth and speaking your lines into a microphone. But I gotta say, that probably sounds a lot more difficult because your voice has to carry that performance. You can't use your face or eyes to communicate what you're trying to do with your performance. You only have to use your voice. And in my opinion, that actually does sound kind of difficult. And Tara Strong gives one of her best performances in this movie. And Andrea Libman is consistently bizarre and strange as Pinkie Pie. I mean, oh my god! Look at the faces she makes! Like, you gotta understand, for me, I love really strange, out there, trippy comedy. And I especially love the way cartoons can animate comedy because, I mean, with with animation, you can do whatever you want with the characters' designs, or really what you can do with their animations, because you can make them so overly expressive and so over the top and just still make it work. I just love it whenever animated shows or movies just go all the way with their comedy and be as weird as they can. In fact, some of my favorite cartoons of all time have had very expressive, over-the-top facial expressions and body movements with their comedy. Like, for example, the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob SquarePants, Teen Titans, The Fairly OddParents before Chloe and Sparky came along. Like, all of these shows have very imaginative expressions, and really My Little Pony is no different. This movie, as well as the television show, succeeds with the physical comedy because the animators just go all the way with the expressions, and Andrea Libman has amazing delivery with her comedy. And one thing I noticed about this movie that a lot of animated movies these days have just completely forgotten about: having a memorable villain. I mean, you try and tell me the villain's name in Big Hero 6. Please, tell me the villain's real name. Now I'm just gonna pretend like you didn't just Google it just so you could spite me, but really, I don't remember the villain in Big Hero 6's name. I don't even remember the villain in Zootopia's name. One of the biggest problems with Disney's villains nowadays is because they're given no time to develop, they're not given enough screen time, and worst of all, there's some really stupid twist that goes, oh wait, that character that was previously established and totally not evil? Well, now they're completely evil now, even though it completely betrays their character previously. From the get-go, Tempest in My Little Pony the movie is a straight-up villain. There's no plot twist, there's a lot of screen time dedicated to her, and there's one song that she sings explaining her backstory, and it's actually pretty heartbreaking to watch. Finally we get a great animated movie villain. Like, because I'm sorry, I know everyone loves Zootopia. Like, I like Zootopia, it's a good movie, but my god, what was the point of that villain? There was no point in it. Like, you could have cut the villain out of the movie, and it probably would have made the movie better, to be honest. Actually, then again, I don't know. But still, if they were going to a villain, they shouldn't have, like, done some stupid plot twist to reveal the villain, and most certainly they should have given the villain more screen time as a villain. So yeah, My Little Pony the movie did something that was actually better than a Disney movie. Sue me. I don't care. I mean, I'm just glad there's a good villain in an animated movie. And the more I think about it, the more I realize how kind of similar Tempest is to Twilight Sparkle. Both of them involved histories where their friendships broke apart. Now, with Twilight, it's not really done in this movie, but within the show, like, you know that Twilight has done things that kind of broke some of her older friendships apart. Of course, she bounced back and tried to make everything better again, but fact is, she, like, was responsible for the breakup of her older friends. And with Tempest, something similar happens, except it wasn't necessarily her fault. But regardless, her friendships were broken up. So now you have two sides of the same coin. One of them lost friendship, but however bounced back and used her experiences for good, and the other one used her experiences to do bad. I mean, call bullshit on me on this if you want, but that's very impressive. It's very impressive that this movie, My Little Pony, the movie, was able to make the villain and the hero very different in many ways, but also make them very similar in many ways. And if you can accomplish that, then that's amazing. And yet Disney just hasn't really caught on to that. Now, some people will try to make the excuse that Disney only makes their villains weak to put more emphasis on their hero. Really? Because I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, The Empire Strikes Back, and The Lion King all had villains and heroes that were given enough screen time and were both very interesting. So no, I don't buy the whole excuse of, oh yeah, we just need to focus all of our attention on the heroes so that, you know, everyone can understand them more. Why? It's been proven before in other movies that you can do both. You can make a very relatable and very likable hero while still making a very entertaining and very menacing villain. You can do both. Those movies did that. This movie does that. Why can't Disney? And there's a couple scenes in this movie where clearly characters die. Like, no way about it. Like, there's even a scene where, like, that involves fire. It's very clear those characters have been burned to death. Like you even see it happen. One of the characters even, like, running with, while being on fire or whatever, and they just fall over. Yeah, that guy's probably dead. He's fucking dead. Like, there's no way around it. He was scorched with fire and died right there in front of our eyes. I mean, My Little Pony the movie, everybody! Now, is My Little Pony the movie a perfect movie? No, there are some things I do have a problem with. Like, for one, there's kind of a Deus Ex Machina around what is just before the climax of the movie. It's kind of hard to explain. Like one character reappears after something clearly bad really happened between that person and the main characters. Like, a really bad thing. And yet that character bounced back, oh yeah, I want to help now. I mean, really? Like, after what just happened? And I was going to say this. What was the point of Michael Peña's character in this movie? Yeah, I don't even remember his name. In fact, if you cut him out of the movie would be no different. All he does is have a lisp and eats cake and stuff. Okay? What does he contribute? Nothing. He contributes nothing to the plot. Again, if you cut him out of the movie, it would have been no different. Just have Tempest. She's a good enough villain. And the Lieb Schreiber character is pretty good. I mean, not as good as Tempest, but still. I mean, you already have two villains. Why do you need this little Michael Peña character who has a lisp and eats cake? I don't get that. Why is he in this movie? Just get him away. Go away. Now, is My Little Pony the movie as incredible as The Lion King, the Tigger movie, or Kubo and the Two Strings? No, I wouldn't really say that. But at the same time, did it really need to be? I mean, this is My Little Pony the movie. You're already going to alienate people who aren't familiar with the franchise. And seeing as how this movie holds a 45% on Rotten Tomatoes, it's very clear that that's the case. I do wish more people would try to give the show a chance, but sadly I think that's not going to happen. Because a lot of people just only view My Little Pony as just ponies. Like, it's just a show about ponies. How could this possibly be any interesting? Well, to them I say this. The Lego movie is about bricks. Colorful bricks that you build with. And yet the Lego movie took these colorful bricks that have no narrative to them whatsoever and made a fantastic animated movie out of it. So, like, if people can get into that, why not My Little Pony? I've even talked to people trying to convince them that, hey, this is a really good show. Really, I would suggest checking it out. And they just don't understand. They just can't get the whole notion of this is all just, a bunch of ponies out of their heads. And I'm not trying to say they're right or wrong for thinking that way, but at least give it a shot. Don't get me wrong, there are some weak episodes of the show. And one of them, for me, is just downright terrible. But overall, I mean, if the Lego movie, a movie about colorful bricks that in general have no narrative, but yet can make a movie about imagination and creativity, then why can't My Little Pony, a similar toy line with just colorful horses that just serve no narrative, and turn it into a movie about how life can sometimes get in the way of your friendships, and reality sometimes just settles in? I don't know how else I can convince you, but I really would suggest checking out the show, and I really would suggest checking out the movie. And so yeah, color me shocked, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm going to give My Little Pony the movie a 9 out of 10. Look, call me crazy, but my objective here is not to tell you what you want to hear. My objective here is to tell you what I feel, how I feel. And I do feel like My Little Pony the movie It's a very charming animated film with very good morals, very imaginative colors, very imaginative humor, and it's just overall just a nice film to watch. It's just nice to watch. It's nice to watch these characters interact. It's nice to see such goodness in an animated film. And if My Little Pony the movie is actually doing things better than Disney, please take note. So, what do you think of My Little Pony the movie? I mean, you're probably typing up insults on the keyboards. There's probably going to be a lot of dislikes, sort of like my Ghostbusters review. I don't care. In any case, let me know down what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like, share the videos so we can get the channel circulated, and if you want to see more, click this.